You're listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show, where wealth is empowering, purpose is crucial, and high vibes are non-negotiable. And now, here's your host, certified business coach and practical woo strategist, Sara J Loureiro.
Welcome back to another episode of the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. Today, we are going to be talking about how to create passive income in your online business so that you can stop having so many hours in front of Zoom calls and really start living more of your life. So I know that I've spoken about this in other episodes as well, but I think it is just so important to say that when you are just starting out in your online business, one-to-one is so helpful and valuable because it starts to get you to understand what it is that your ideal clients actually want from you. And it's just so much easier to sign on high-ticket clients one-to-one than it is to actually sign on or make the same amount of money with a passive income program. I think it's a huge myth that you can just start making loads of money right away with a passive income program. Of course, it's different if you already have a community, if you've spent years building a community and you have a big community of people to sell a passive income program to. But generally speaking, it is going to be wildly easier to sell high ticket in the beginning, high ticket one-to-one, and then eventually transition yourself a little bit more into passive income. Now, with all of that being said, that's kind of like my caveat. With all of that being said, though, you can absolutely do passive income at the same time as you are doing your one-to-one coaching. And this is something that I love doing in my business. It's called income stacking. And if you create some income stacking funnels for yourself, business is going to be a little bit more fun, a little bit more creative. It's definitely going to be a lot more work. So if you want something very simple, I probably would not start off with some passive income programs. But overall, another thing that I really love about income stacking funnels is that it just gives you a lot more freedom and it really helps you with your operating costs overall, especially as you are scaling your business. So what are the types of passive income that you can do in your business and which ones are going to be the best for you? Let's take a look at all of the different ways that you can create passive income, especially as you grow your business and maybe even get out of a one-to-one model if that's something that you want to do this year. So there are so many different kinds. And actually, when I was first starting out in online business back in 2015, 2016, I actually did a course before I did one-to-one. I didn't sell the course at all until I had a few one-to-one clients. And then I rebranded the course, remarketed it, and then sold it for what I knew my clients actually wanted. And then that's actually when I started selling the course a lot more. But I had a $100 course, and then I had my high ticket yoga and wellness coaching packages. And what I found was really awesome is that for every 10 people who would buy my course, around 3 or 4 of those people who would become one-to-one clients. So that was really fun, really cool metric. And what that also taught me is that all I needed to do was just get a lot of people in my lower ticket items to then sell my higher ticket items. So it became, once again, an income stacking type of funnel that I was using over time, and I would experiment with different kinds. And so I've now done literally every single funnel and every single program under the sun. Like I've literally done everything from group coaching to launching to one-to-one to high ticket to low ticket. I've done memberships. I've done bundles. I've done courses. I've done courses with one-to-one access. I've done sales leads offers. I've done everything. So one of my clients specifically asked about subscription-based services and what I think about them. In all honesty, the membership type of passive income was my least favorite out of all of the ones that I've done. And I think it's just because with memberships, I think a lot of us just feel like we need to pack on the value. And I think that one of the trickiest things with developing passive income, especially if you have like higher ticket programs, is you want to make sure that the passive income programs don't give too much value and they don't give too much access to you to the point where people aren't even going to want to work with you at your higher levels because of the fact that you're just kind of giving everything away in something smaller. And so I think one of the biggest things to be aware of when you're creating something that's passive is to try not to over deliver, especially if you want more of an ascension model. And if you are having people coming into like a higher ticket type of item for yourself as well. Now, with that being said, one of the reasons why I didn't like memberships and why I don't generally do memberships anymore is because I just found that I was constantly having to update things, and then also to have people just like constantly staying in a subscription just felt like it was so much more work than everything else that I was doing inside of my business, which is why I think I had a membership model for about a year. It was beautiful. It was a really nice way of bringing a community together. However, in terms of the amount of work that I was doing for each one of the programs that I had, it just seemed like that was the most amount of work for me personally. So that's what I would say about memberships. However, I know that some people swear by memberships, and really what it comes down to is what feels like it's in the most alignment for you. What I found personally is I love doing courses. It's one of my favorite things to do. Courses and group coaching programs are like my vibe. And you can do courses. You can also do bundles that you can bundle up. So you can bundle up a set of meditations that you do. You can take one specific aspect of your unique framework or methodology that you do for your one-to-one program, and you can bundle that up and sell it for $99, where you just create a whole bunch of videos that are on that one specific aspect of your program. There are so many different ways that you can do this. And one of the things that I always recommend to my clients is to start creating a library of videos, of meditations, of trainings, of PDFs, of step-by-step processes that you give to your clients, and just create that library. And then as you add to that library, what you can start to do is see how many of those things can be bundled and sold separately as a bundle for your broader email list or for your broader community, where you can sell that for, let's say, for example, $100 or $200. And then boom, you get, more passive income. So you get more money for your bottom line. The other nice thing about passive income is that there is zero fulfillment on your end. And so you don't actually have to spend more time delivering a program, because what you've done is you've already fulfilled on what you've done, because it's just a pre-recorded program. It's a pre-recorded course. And not to mention that then you can also, there's so many different ways that you can help yourself to upsell to those people who took a program or who took a self-guided program to get more support with you by joining you in your one-to-one program or by joining you in a group coaching program that you have as well. And so those are all the different ways that you can create passive income. You can create a membership site. You can create a bundle. You can create a course, a self-guided course. You can even just create like one meditation that you have on your website that you sell for $20. Let's say, for example, you can create a tripwire, which is basically the second page of an email freebie funnel where you can give people like a very discounted rate on something. And the more that you play around with this and the more that you start to really understand funnel strategy, and this is something that I teach to my advanced clients who are scaling their businesses to $50K a month, once you can create more of a funnel strategy, then what you can also do is you can utilize it, and you can utilize it so that you're always selling something bigger and bigger and bigger to the exact same people, and they're benefiting from all of it. And at the same time, you're not having to fulfill on those clients because, once again, self-guided, so it's already delivered to them. You've already done everything that you need to do. You create more profits and you get to enjoy more of your life. Because if you think about it, if you're selling a course for $500 and if you have a community size that's big enough or that's warm enough, you can potentially create $10,000 a month just by selling a course. And then that way you literally have no calls in your calendar and you can just go out and enjoy your life. And so, yes, it's a little bit harder to set up. I would definitely say that it's more advanced. So, I've seen people online who are only teaching courses and things like that. And I just think take all of that with a grain of salt, especially if you are new or if you're under 6 figures a year, because it will take a lot more dedication to get a funnel like that to work. But if you are scaling and if you're at least at a $5K a month mark, it is definitely worthwhile to start to include some passive income programs into your income stacking funnels. so you can create more freedom for your life. And not only that, but once you create passive income, you can also start to help so many more people, because there are going to be so many people in your community who might not want, or really genuinely might not be able to afford your high ticket program. And so how beautiful is it to be able to offer them something that's lower cost that they still can benefit from, and they can still benefit from your wisdom and your magic, and still feel like they can be a part of your community by consuming something that's really going to change their life without you necessarily having to be in it. Right? So I will leave you with that. Just process that for a second. Everyone wins when you create more passive income and when you create more of an income stacking funnel in your business. Like I said, it's a little bit harder to set up. It's not as easy as just doing one-to-one or just focusing on one program, but it is so, so worth it in the long run. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you liked this episode, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed and left us a 5-star review. If you know someone who you feel like would love to hear this episode, feel free to forward it on to them as well. Thank you so much for listening, and I will catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Uplevel Your Online Business Show. If you enjoy our show and would like the show notes and free goodies about how to grow your online coaching business, head over to sarajloureiro.com for more information. We hope you'll tune in next time.